Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
You didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. Most likely no one in America saw it coming. But we're going to get to see something that most of us didn't think we would ever get to see again. You're probably thinking that I'm about to talk about something serious, something significant, something impactful. World peace, for crying out loud. Well, no, not exactly. However, what I'm talking about is in fact significant. As in, it will be significantly hilarious for me and anyone else who decides to watch it. You guys remember the 2020 presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden? You know, went a little something like this.
Radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list?
We might get to see something like that again. I didn't think it was going to happen because it's been very, very up in the air. No one I know was thinking that it's going to happen, and some people are still skeptical if it's even going to happen now. But we're going to see another one of these debates. At least 2 have been confirmed. Let's talk about it. According to Politico, having spent months avoiding direct engagement on when and where to debate, both Donald Trump and Joe Biden seem to agree on a time and place in a matter of minutes on Wednesday, setting up 2 showdowns in late June and mid-September. This agreement signals an interest in both camps to have a public sparring. Both Biden and Trump have said that they wouldn't participate in the Commission on Presidential Debates proposed schedule, placing a serious doubt in whether any debates would actually take place at all. Now, there's a person that has essentially they have direct knowledge of these 2 discussions, and they know exactly what's happening because somehow they were there. I don't really know how this works, but this is just what's in the article. This person said that the contact was after Biden's appearance on the Howard Stern show, where the president said that he would be happy to debate Trump. But the discussions, a campaign official stressed, were not particularly formal. Okay, when his campaign crew has to come out and do damage control saying, it's not formal, it's not like an official statement or anything, you know that he's not confident in the fact that he might actually have to debate Donald Trump. Think about it. It didn't exactly go well last time, and this is the man who has brought us an entirely new language of gibberish words. Now, I don't think that we necessarily need to revisit those, but for comedy's sake, let's go ahead and do that.
Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
Brock and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
The palmist. With the palmist who wrote these following words.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Even Wall Street today said they don't see Reshek coming. When I signed the bipartisan infrastructure again, which can be defined in a single word, I was going to put him included groundbreaking Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang. I'm going to pronounce right. Shanga Kawawa. I think I pronounced it correctly.
This man says that he would be happy to debate Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who, if nothing else, is a good speaker and a good debater. I've told this as a joke to quite a few people within the speech and debate organization I participate in, but half of winning a debate is presentation. You can bring up the best case in the world, you can have the best advantages, the most significant harms, and the best way of solving all of it. But if your presentation isn't good, I hate to break it to you, the other team is probably going to kill your bill. About half of the work in a debate is good presentation. Unfortunately, I don't think the Democrats are going to be able to provide us with that. But who knows? Maybe all of a sudden Joe Biden will become the most coherent speaker in the world and we will have a fair debate with both sides on the same playing field. That's the ideal world. But either way, the ideal world for me is having these 2 debate, and that's most likely going to happen, so I'm already in the ideal world. Let's continue talking a little bit more about what this debate is going to be. The article goes on to say the debates should be hosted by a broadcast organization that moderated both a Republican primary in 2016 and a Democrat primary in 2020, in order to create an acceptable balance. Both ABC and CNN meet that criteria. CNN on Wednesday stated that it would host the debate at its studios in Atlanta without an audience. Biden's decision to call for 2 debates is itself notable. Democrats had privately wondered whether the president would duck the debates entirely in line with his lower public profile approach to the office. Okay, so there are a couple of different points of analysis I would like to bring up on this. First of all, it's not exactly that Joe Biden has a lower public profile of his own free will. It's that they're trying to keep him in the basement so that he doesn't embarrass his own party any farther. That aside, how is this even ground? How is this an acceptable balance? ABC and CNN are both super woke. I don't think that this is exactly an acceptable balance, but if this is what we have to do to get this done, fine. The ends justify the means in this scenario. But just as a couple of quick points of analysis, neither of these last couple of statements in the article are particularly true. The article goes on to say, the president's team had wrestled for months as to how to approach these debates. Senior advisors felt that they couldn't skip them, as it would fuel talk that Biden wasn't up for the rigors of the job itself. By jumping out first to frame the stakes of the debate, Biden aides felt that they boxed in Trump. The Republican will either have to agree to terms he doesn't favor, like debating without an audience, or pull the plug and look like he's ducking Biden, the advisors said. Another outcome was alluring too, that he would go through with the debate and remind Americans why they voted him out of office 4 years ago. Okay. That's the perspective of this article. Politico is kind of a left-leaning news organization. But think about this for a second. Biden's advisors think that they just had the biggest gotcha moment of the century on Donald Trump. They're like, if we can get him to agree to a debate without an audience and on one of our more favorable news networks, oh, we've basically got him. Americans are going to see that there's nothing from the other side that they should vote for. I think that they're going to end up disproving their own point. Because here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to get to the debate. Yes, it's not completely the way that Donald Trump would like it. He would probably like to stay off of CNN. He would probably like to have an audience because, let's face it, the man's a showman. But because he's agreeing to debate without either of those two things, Democrats seem to think that they've really got him backed into a corner. However, I don't think that they're taking into account something that's going to be a huge factor in the outcome of this debate. Is Joe Biden able to coherently speak for as long as he needs and coherently defend the ridiculous radical ideologies that they've been perpetuating within this administration? I don't think that that's actually going to happen as well as the Democrats think. They think currently, oh, we gotcha. Donald Trump is in the bag. The election is in the bag. We don't even have to make another pandemic at this point. But I think that the opposite is going to end up being proven true. Reason being, one's a top-tier speaker. Like I said, if nothing else, no matter if you like Donald Trump or if you hate Donald Trump, you have to acknowledge that he is a good speaker, he's entertaining to watch, and he has a solid track record on policy. Joe Biden, on the other hand, well, he is entertaining to watch, but not because he's necessarily a good speaker. It's because he fumbles through most of his speeches and has to read them off the teleprompter. I don't think that I need to remind you of 4 more years pause from last week. Either way, I'm excited to see this debate. I watched all of the Republican GOP primaries. I watched the 2020 presidential election, or the presidential debate a little bit during the last cycle. I thought it was fun. I like debate. I like politics. I like policy. I'm going to be tuning in to watch this anyways. But even if you're not into all of those things, I would advise that you tune in and watch it as well. Because in this day and age, in this society, we could all use a laugh.